Hola a todos, soy Belisario y esto es BeliTube. Bienvenidos a Strategic Mind, Spirit of Liberty. Muy bien, lo primero de todo, agradecer a Hyper Strange, el editor de este juego, por la key para mostrarlo. Thank you to Hyper Strange for the key, so I can show the game to my audience. Thank you very much. Bueno, una vez quitado ese requisito normalmente legal de agradecer, vamos a ver. ¿De qué va este juego? Este juego va de la guerra de invierno. Y es un juego ya que, si este es el nivel de Hearts of Iron de profundidad estratégica, sube un poquito más. Ya es hexágonos. En cuanto hay hexágonos ya es más profundo estratégicamente. No es Civilization. Que el Civilization, vale, ahora tiene hexágonos, pero no es ese tipo de hexágonos, ¿vale? Los que... si digo Panzer General, pues más en ese sentido. No obstante, aquí tenéis... Espera, aquí. Más juegos si queréis comprar. Pues mira, tienen uno que va con yankees, otro que va con alemanes, uno del Pacífico y uno que creo que es guerra, el último, este de aquí, el espectro del comunismo. Perdón, aquí. Espectro del comunismo. Creo que es en plan de ya este contra oeste. Pero no estoy seguro. Lo que me importa, este juego, la música, la he bajado ya. Bueno, el juego no está en español. Cosa que ya debemos estar acostumbrados con los mods de Hearts of Iron.
The Republic of Finland was declared in 1917 and established itself in a bitter civil war against communism. Now, 22 years later, Finnish independence is about to be snuffed out as the old enemy returns. The Red Army marches into Finland. The legendary Carl Gustaf Mannerheim leads the Finnish defense forces, under-equipped, poorly armed, and vastly outnumbered. Only high morale and skillful leadership can tip the scales back in Finland's favor. You will take the role of Lieutenant General Carl Lennart Osh, a talented Finnish officer and Marshal Mannerheim's most trusted commander. As the country's foremost defensive expert, lead Finland in the three wars fought on its territory throughout 1939 to 1945, and drive any and all invaders from your northern homeland, no matter which flag they're flying. Hold the line, General Osh.
Dato interesante, 3 guerras. Guerra de invierno, guerra de continuación y cuando se pasan de bando, entiendo. Luego pone Alternative History.
The continuation war meant to reclaim lost Finnish territories had just begun when the Soviet Union struck a devastating blow against Finland. Field Marshal Mannerheim, the Republic of Finland was declared in 1917 and established itself in a bitter civil war against communism. Now, 22 years later, Finnish independence is about to be snuffed out as the old enemy returns.
A ver,
the Red Army marches into Finland. The legendary Carl Gustaf Mannerheim leads the Finnish defense.
Que sí, que tranquilo. Contando que es la primera toma de contacto con el juego, no lo voy a poner en 100%. Bueno, vemos BT5s. ¿O son BT7s? No tengo ni idea. No sé diferenciar un BT5 y un BT7. Esto sí que es un T26. Y por ahí veo algún... No, me había parecido un T28 a lo lejos, pero no.
And so, the Soviet Union shows its true colors. Their troops have crossed our border in force. Gentlemen, the war that began in Poland has finally come to us.
The Soviets claim our troops shelled their positions near the village of Mainila.
Lo típico.
An absurd accusation, and they know it. Our artillery was pulled back precisely to prevent an incident like that.
Exactly. They simply needed an excuse to invade us. Now, they've created one.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who fired the first shot. Now we have to defend ourselves.
It does matter to the League of Nations. Our government wants to appeal to the League for assistance.
Como las Naciones Unidas, pana.
That's nice, but the League can't help Finland if there is no more Finland to help.
Just so. We must hold the line, General Osh. And you are the best defensive tactician we have.
You'll have your hands full, General. The Soviets plan to overwhelm us with sheer numbers.
A few more months to prepare would have helped. Our main defensive line is still unfinished.
Then we'll have to rely on your skill and the sisu of our soldiers. I am placing my trust in you, General.
I won't let you down.
Te voy a decir una cosa, yo
But that appeal
no
to
hubiera
the League,
jugado con luz
I
natural.
suggest you tell our government to hurry.
Hubiera jugado con luz artificial y ya está, para eliminar cantidad de sombras. Personalmente hubiera hecho eso. Porque
General Iroh, give
cuanto
us a
mejor o peor
situation
tengas
report.
los gráficos se va a
The
notar más o
Soviet
menos.
forces have broken through our border defenses. According to the field reports, they expect this initial attack to push all the way to Viipuri.
Well, they won't reach it. General Osh, you will make sure of it. Destroy the enemy's forward units. The time for diplomacy is over.
Understood, Field Marshal. Our
ver.
soldiers will meet the enemy at Kanediarvi. The landscape there is excellent for defense. However, we can't hold the enemy there for long. My current forces won't nearly be enough.
I understand. You'll be reinforced at the earliest opportunity, but before that, the fate of Finland depends on your leadership.
No me pone
Do not let your country
presión, no.
down, Leonard.
General Osh, strange enemy activity has been spotted at Patriki. Send in aviation reconnaissance as soon as possible to see what the Soviets are planning.
Understood, General Iroh. I will give the orders.
No me ha metido presión, no. A ver. Haz retroceder a los soviéticos y... Objetivo secundario... Y a nada, aquí te suelta. Tutorial, macho. No sé si había tutorial al principio.
Your forces are comprised of both core and non-core units. Core unit strength indicator is green and round shaped, and for non-core units it is yellow and hexagon shaped. Non-core units are allocated for one mission only, while the core units will accompany you throughout the campaign.
Vale.
You will be able to level them up and provide them with new equipment. These units are the ones which should be under your primary protection.
Vale. O sea, las unidades con un círculo verde pasan de misión a misión. Esta pasa de misión a misión. Esta con un... algo amarillo, no.
Ammunition and fuel icons next to unit strength will allow you to quickly get important information about it. If the unit is still able to move during the current turn, the canister icon will be green. If
Vale.
it can no longer move, the icon will be gray. Likewise, the ammunition icon shows whether the unit has attacked this turn. If the unit is low on ammunition or fuel, the corresponding icon is yellow. It becomes red once the unit has run out of it completely.
At once, Commander!
Ya.
Tanks are ideal for a rapid offensive in open terrain. However, they are vulnerable in close quarters to the infantry units in difficult terrain, such as cities, mountains, forests, swamps, shallows, and well-entrenched infantry units.
Pues bien. No sé qué ha pasado. ¡Hemos ganado!
Tank killers on the loose!
A ver. La artillería esta. No sé cuánto alcance tiene.
Time to get mobile!
Hostia, la vuelta que ha dado.
Infantry is good for assaulting the enemy positions after the artillery and air bombardment. It is also the best unit for storming cities, mountains, forests, and well-entrenched positions. A well-entrenched infantry is a tough target for the enemy assault.
Double time, people!
No sé qué estoy haciendo, ¿vale? Y no puedo atacar. Perfecto. Supply hub, radar
Artillery
station.
is the basis of the firepower of your forces. It can weaken enemy fortifications to allow your troops to attack without heavy losses. It is also good
Poco
for
tarde.
defense, as it provides fire support to the ground units within its range. However, its main strength is its long firing range, which allows you to destroy the enemy troops from afar. Remember though, artillery is vulnerable to aircraft attacks and in close combat, so it needs to be protected.
Bueno. Te voy a decir una cosa. Mi turno me ha parecido... malísimo. A ver, prestigio. Pero estos son mis unidades que tengo ya. No lo sé. ¿Cuánto cuesta adquirir uno? Porque no lo sé. O sea, me refiero, yo quiero adquirir, ¿vale? O sea, yo quiero adquirir unidades. ¿Cuánto cuesta esta unidad? ¿Cuánto? Le he adquirido. Pero yo no veo cuánto cuesta. Ya, aquí abajo, vale. Vale, esto no es lo que yo tengo, sino el precio.
Armored vehicle reporting.
Bueno, yo lo he intentado, ¿vale? Vamos a ver cómo nos revientan los... Debería haberme estado quieto y simplemente haber tomado mejores posiciones. Pero como que el juego te invita a no avanzar.
I asked you to conduct aerial reconnaissance, General Oesch. You didn't listen. And now God only knows
¿De
what
dónde
the
me
Soviets
saco el
are planning.
avión?
General Oesch, an opportunity presents itself to capture some Soviet vehicles. Our scouts report that there are several disabled Soviet tanks currently in Korkanmaki. Capture those tanks before the Bolsheviks get them back on the road.
We could definitely use some armor in this army. Thanks for the tip. I'll see about paying the Bolsheviks a visit.
Uno, ¿cómo quieres que llegue allí? Y dos, ¿con qué avión querías que mirara?
We'll flatten them.
You have selected an entrenched unit. When a ground unit finishes its turn while still being able to move, it gains 1 level of entrenchment. The unit can have up to 6 levels of entrenchment. Each level of entrenchment increases all defenses by 1. The unit loses all levels of entrenchment when it moves. Naval and aircraft units cannot gain entrenchment. Each attack against an entrenched unit reduces the entrenchment level by 1.
Yo no sé para qué avanzo, la verdad.
No keeping secrets from us.
El fuerte no puede atacar.
All I need is...
Anti-tank artillery damage is indicated with the numbers above the unit being attacked. For ground and aircraft units, there are 2 types of damage, lethal and non-lethal. Both lethal and non-lethal damage decrease the unit's strength. However, non-lethal damage at the same time increases the number of units damaged, which can later be restored. Naval units always receive only lethal damage. However, they have multiple ship parts with their corresponding HP. Thus, damage against them is split. Ship parts except the hull are repaired over time by ship maintenance. Hull HP cannot be restored in any way during the operation.
Recon patrol standing by.
Free our home, our faith, and our country.
Finnish artillery reporting.
Bueno, y yo he pedido 2 unidades. ¿Dónde están? Tengo esa pregunta. No es... O sea, esto es lo que pasa cuando hablamos de gran estrategia. No tengo ni idea de qué está pasando, ¿vale? Pero es en plan de necesito reconocimiento aéreo. ¿Con qué avión? No tengo aviones.
This unit has heavy equipment. Units with heavy equipment cannot move if they do not have ground transport. Additionally, they cannot board air transport and can only disembark from naval transport at a seaport.
We hit fast, we hit hard. Acknowledged.
Y
Forward recon reporting.
Qué poco voy a jugar a esto. Vale. Vamos a irnos. Vamos a reiniciar de la operación de nuevo.
General Iro, give us a situation.
Que sí.
Understood.
A ver. Aircraft. Tengo 0. ¿Cómo demonios quieres que haga reconocimiento aéreo este turno? ¿Me entendéis, no? ¿Cómo? Bueno, ahora sé que
The
tengo
forces are
artillería al
comprised of
fondo.
both core and non-core units. Core unit strength indicator is green and round-shaped, and for non-core units it is yellow and hexagon-shaped. Non-core units are allocated for one mission only, while the core units will accompany you throughout the campaign. You'll be able to level them up and provide them with new equipment. These units are the ones which should be under your primary protection.
Move it, come on!
Vamos a evitarnos movernos adyacentes. Aunque luego ellos puedan hacerlo
Our guns might
libremente,
be old,
como suele
but
pasar.
they kill.
Ammunition and fuel icons next to unit strength will allow you to quickly get important information about it. If the unit is still able to move during
Que
the
sí. Vale. HQ Skills. Equipment Reinforcement. No. Embarcation. No. Vale, tengo pregunta. ¿Cómo hago? ¿Cómo? Vale, ya he encontrado dónde se quieren las unidades. No me llega para avión, siquiera. Vale. Jäger y conscript. Es buena idea, yo qué sé.
infantry is good for assaulting the enemy positions after the artillery and air bombardment. It is also the best unit for storming cities, mountains, forests, and well-entrenched positions. A well-entrenched infantry is a tough target for the enemy assault.
¿Puedo bajarlos del camión? Creo que no.
Quality over quantity, I guess.
Bueno, los tiazos se lo han metido igual. ¿Sí? Se ha quedado pensando. No le ha gustado que haya vuelto en el tiempo. He sido yo haciendo clic, que si no...
I asked you to conduct General Osh.
We could definitely.
Y yo te pregunto, ¿y cómo demonios querías que llegara?
Free our home, our faith, and our country. Squad, on the move.
Vamos a mandar unos locos a ver si llegan, ¿vale? Que no creo. Bueno, mientras,
Artillery is the
artillería.
basis of the firepower of your forces. It can weaken enemy fortifications to allow your troops to attack without heavy losses. It is also good for defense, as it provides fire support to the ground units within its range. However, its main strength is its long firing range, which allows you to destroy the enemy troops from afar. Remember though, artillery is vulnerable to aircraft attacks and in close combat, so it needs to be protected.
We fight like our fathers did.
¿Y cómo lucharon nuestros padres? Porque yo no lo sé. He pedido a esta unidad que vaya aquí. Dicen, no, voy aquí, voy a
This
sufrir
unit has
daño.
heavy equipment. Units with heavy
¿Por qué?
equipment
No lo sé.
cannot move if they do not have ground transport. Additionally, they cannot board air transport and can only disembark from naval transport at a seaport.
Bueno. Estos Jaggers no pueden atacar aquí.
Civil Guard is here.
Los conscript tampoco tienen nada que hacer. El fuerte me dice: puedo atacar, pero no tengo armas. Y yo, pues, ¿para qué sirves?
Damage is indicated with the numbers above the unit being attacked. For ground and aircraft units, there are two types of damage, lethal and non-lethal. Both lethal and non-lethal damage decrease the unit's strength. However, non-lethal damage at the same time increases the number of units damaged, which can later be restored. Naval units always receive only lethal damage. However, they have multiple ship parts with their corresponding HP. Thus, damage against them is split. Ship parts except the hull are repaired over time by ship maintenance. Hull HP cannot be restored and
Que sí.
Here to defend our homeland. That's one for the newspapers. This thing has a target painted all.
anti-tank artillery is effective against tanks and other hard targets. Your best tactic when using anti-tank artillery is to position it next to your other forces to provide them with fire support versus attacks from enemy tanks.
Free our home, our faith, and our country.
Long-range recon awaiting orders. Taking aim.
Que no.
Can't hide from us.
All city, forest, and mountain terrain offer much better protection from enemy attacks. Right-click an empty hexagon to learn more about its terrain.
Civil Guard is here. Remember your training. Stick together. We won!
Victoire.
Soldiers of Finland.
Hay una unidad ahí. No me gusta.
We will be fed after this, right?
Vale.
Civil Guard is here.
The Soviet offensive has been repelled, Field Marshal.
Excellent work, General Osh. This gives us some time and we must use it well. I'm sending you some reinforcements as we speak. Assume the command. Your next task will be to capture the airfield near Mustamaki. Take it from the Soviets and we'll...
Whatever you send, I won't say no to it. We're dealing with an...
Vale, que hay que tomar ahora eso. O sea, tengo que avanzar yo.
Guns cleaned and ready to fire.
Long-range recon awaiting orders. We're on a raid.
Ready to do our duty. We fight like our fathers did.
Esto es los va. Le queda 2 de vida, jodo. O sea, le cae de todo, ¿no?
You have selected an entrenched unit. When a ground unit finishes its turn while still being able to move, it gains 1 level of entrenchment. The unit can have up to 6 levels of entrenchment. Each level of entrenchment increases all defenses by 1. The unit loses all levels of entrenchment when it moves. Naval and aircraft units cannot gain entrenchment. Each attack against an entrenched unit reduces the entrenchment level by 1.
Tank killers relocating. Understood.
Artillery, awaiting orders. Artillery, on the move.
Me han traído un cañón gordo.
Reconnaissance is extremely important in an offensive, since it provides you with full intelligence information regarding the presence of enemy forces, thus making your attack more effective.
¿Por qué está haciendo...? No he mandado a atacar a nadie. ¿Por qué me está haciendo la cámara de acabar con un enemigo? No lo sé.
Infantry standing by. Try not to make too much noise.
Tanks are ideal for a rapid offensive in open terrain. However, they are vulnerable in close quarters to the infantry units in difficult terrain.
Que sí. Bueno, o sea, esta unidad está destruida.
Civil Guard reporting for duty.
Vale.
Greetings, General Osh. Our intelligence service reports that the Soviets have recently...
Thank you for the information.
Tengo las manos llenas. O sea, si tengo que venir aquí,
Soldiers of Finland.
que aún estoy en ello.
The enemy won't hide.
A ver si lo revientan. Ok. Ah, no, es un búnker.
We'll take him out.
A ver,
We'll flatten
artillería.
them. Commencing fire mission.
Más
Artillery,
artillería.
awaiting orders. They are leaving our effective range.
Moving!
Forward recon reporting.
Your unit has been withdrawn from a supply zone. The delivery of supplies to the unit has been stopped. The supply zone is marked with a white box symbol in the upper corner of each hexagon while the unit is selected.
Infantry standing by.
Quality over quantity, I guess. Push it! We don't have all day!
Soldiers, form up. We will be fed after this, right? Soldiers, form up.
Quizás lanzar... Es que no me he dado cuenta que era el cañón antitanque. Quizás lanzar el cañón antitanque no ha sido la mejor idea.
Ready to do our duty! Drop that one!
No keeping secrets from us.
Orders confirmed. Firing. Artillery, awaiting orders.
Tank killers on the loose. Looks like they had enough.
Any orders for us? Drop that one! At once, Commander!
Soldiers of Finland, capturing the key point. Free our home, our faith, and our country.
Our guns might be old, but they kill people all the same.
Push it! We don't have all day!
Me hace gracia porque el
Be
Vickers
careful when you send your tanks into city, mountain, and forest terrain. If they run into enemy infantry, any skirmish will likely result in heavy losses due to close quarters.
Que digo que me hace mucha gracia.
The enemy won't hide. I know a Rusky when I see one. Securing the location.
You have captured an enemy supply point intact. It can now be used to supply your troops.
Que el Vickers 6 toneladas y el T-26 son el mismo tanque. Casi.
Need a scout? Shoulder to shoulder, side by side.
Son casi el mismo tanque. Están o sea, T-26 es el modelo sacado de haber comprado unos Vickers de 6 toneladas y haber hecho ingeniería inversa.
Forward recon reporting. Moving unseen. We'll smoke out the defenders.
Our aircraft
The airfield is ours, Field Marshal Mannerheim.
Good to hear. Our combat aviation is now under your command. General Ush, the time has come for a counterattack. You need to recapture the city of Raivola. That will serve as a cold shower for the Reds.
It will be done, Field Marshal Mannerheim.
Vale. A ver.
Finnish bombers ready for duty.
tactical bombers are flying artillery and a great tool for wreaking havoc on any enemy troops, although you have to be careful of the anti-aircraft units Overwatch and fire support. It is better to scout the enemy positions before sending in bombers. Do not leave your tactical bombers without protection. Remember, they are a prime target for enemy fighter planes.
Let's waste no time. Dropping the payload.
Fighter planes are vital for gaining air superiority. Keep your fighters close to allied aircraft you want to protect, and they will provide fire support. Fighters are able to attack ground targets, although with low efficiency. They can use the Overwatch breakthrough skill to counter enemy anti-aircraft fire and clear the way for tactical bombers.
Soldiers, form up.
Hombre, que quiero eliminar a todos los soviéticos de ahí
We
en
won
medio.
this one.
Entenderéis que quería eliminar a todos.
We'll run circles around the Reds.
¡Ojo, aviones enemigos! De repente ahora tienen toda la aviación del mundo.
General Oesch, something absolutely infuriating is happening at Kivana.
Didn't think anything.
Precisely. Our people are more or less immune to that now.
It will be.
Los objetivos secundarios, en fin.
Infantry
Man.
standing by.
A ver.
Our planes are falling apart, but we'll still kick your ass.
Watch out, it's anti-aircraft Overwatch fire. It is costly to attack the enemy positions protected
Pues
by
es la
anti-aircraft
ruta que me ha
units.
dado para
Try
ir.
making a preliminary
Te la
attack on
porra.
the enemy anti-aircraft units to disable their Overwatch ability before sending any aircraft squadrons to engage them.
Es la ruta que me han dado ellos. O sea, ha decidido dar la vuelta alrededor que ir. Yo ahí
We
poco puedo
bring the
hacer.
heat.
A la
Prepare
mierda.
to be bombed. We bring the heat.
Soldiers of Finland.
Bueno, os van a disparar. Y lo mejor es que yo no puedo dispararles.
Ready for recon duty.
Y hay tanques. Ya en servicio, perfecto.
No keeping secrets from us.
First to meet the enemy. Rolling out. I hope my training was enough.
We have so many enemies. Where will we bury them all? We hit fast. We hit hard. We're on the move.
We do not miss. Any fire missions for us? We fight like our fathers did!
An anti-aircraft unit is a powerful and versatile weapon. Its main purpose is to protect your forces from enemy aircraft by overwatch, fire support, and direct attack of the enemy. However, it can also effectively combat ground units. Large caliber anti-aircraft artillery is a good weapon for destroying enemy tanks.
Vale. Bueno, me da que voy a perder cosas.
Flak battery standing by!
Me encanta que pone en tu 15 de 20. No entiendo. A la mierda, mi infantería.
Enemy up in flames!
No, no, ese ataque. Esto está. Aquí van a morir. Os recuerdo, es tan fácil. No en storytelling, pero casi. A ver.
Guarding our lands from Hanko to Petimo.
We've captured several Soviet T-26 tanks, General Iron. Thank you for the tip once more.
We
Splendid. May they serve you well in the field.
soldiers, form up. Need a scout?
No, no ataquéis. Perdéis más. Si atacáis que si no.
Guns cleaned and ready to fire. Beginning the barrage. Armed and ready. We are on our way.
We'll stop the enemy advance.
Tanks are here. Fire!
This unit is on the verge of defeat. Send the unit to the service zone where it can be reinforced. The service zone is a 1 hex range around an infrastructure.
Finnish armor standing by.
Securing the location.
Shoulder to shoulder, side by side.
A ver, ¿qué me quedan de aviones?
Bomber squadrons standing by.
Nada,
If I
vuelve.
go any faster, the plane will break up.
Y me lo derriban.
Ready to wreak some havoc? Stand still now.
Awaiting orders. Commencing the attack. Scattering like rats. The sky is ours.
The sky is ours.
I'm on target.
¿Veis? Es que da una vuelta cuando le digo...
Another victory.
A ver, bofos.
Finnish tank killers have arrived.
No sé si hay aún enemigos.
Any orders for us?
¿Qué tal si tomáis ese puente? Suena bien.
Cold wind or rain will do our duty.
Vale, vamos a destruir esos tanques.
Recon vehicle reporting success. Anti-tank gun is here.
No te muevas tú. Ya ves.
Infantry standing by. We will be fed after this, right?
We do our scouting on foot.
Ready to do our duty.
Claro que sí, chaval. Pues, a ver, podría comprar algo. ¿El qué? No tengo muchos puntos. Quizás unos regulares.
Infantry standing by.
Allá lejos. Adiós a mis aviones. Le van a pegar a mis tanques porque ya veo que marca 5. No. No sé. No sé, los tanques estos están a punto de ser
Quality over
destruidos.
quantity, I guess.
Me los voy a intentar llevar. Ya que son core.
Ready for recon duty.
Almost out of bombs. Christmas comes early.
Your aircraft are out of ammunition. In order to rearm, the aircraft has to land in an airfield within supply zone. Carrier-based aircraft can use carriers as an airfield.
Hey, come back with friends. We got shells for everyone.
A trip back to base is in order. Target sighted. Enemy blown apart.
Muy bien.
A trip back to base is in order. I'm on target.
Shoulder to shoulder, side by side. That's one for the newspapers.
This unit has run out of ammunition. Move it within the supply zone to resupply it. Supply zone is marked with a white box symbol in the upper corner of each hexagon while the unit is
Ya me
selected.
lo has dicho.
Guarding our lands from
Y eso
Hanko
no
to
ha cambiado nada la
Petsamo.
situación.
Artillery, awaiting orders.
Any orders for us? Moving.
We're all brothers here, even the commies from Tampere.
Taking aim.
Advancing at full speed.
Ah, mira, aquí está Aviation Recon.
Nothing will slip
para
through, be
saberlo,
sure
¿vale?
of that.
A ver, ¿quién se puede mover?
Soldiers, form up.
Vosotros.
Understood.
Civil Guard is here.
Claro que sí,
Once,
chaval.
Commander.
We're all brothers here, even the commies from Tampere. Von Mannerheim. That's one for the newspapers.
Pues sí que había la opción de... Pero es que yo... O sea, fíjate.
Finnish
Tengo
armor
que
standing
seleccionar una
by.
unidad y entonces darle a Aviation Recon. ¿Cómo sé yo que tengo que seleccionar, por ejemplo, un tanque, una infantería? ¿Ya? Sí.
Finnish artillery reporting. Artillery, awaiting orders. Enemy is escaping the combat area.
Making contact with the enemy. That
We've bitten the Soviets out of all local key points, Field Marshal Mannerheim.
Excellent work, General Osh. Let the Bolsheviks know this war won't be a relaxing walk in the woods for them. Your leadership saved Finland from a terrible blow, General Osh. If the communists took Viipuri in a few days, all our defensive efforts would have gone to waste. I thank you on behalf of the entire nation of Finland.
Bien. Di, 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 di. He perdido una infantería y un tactical bomber. No. Finish Operation. Jaja. Tiene doble sentido.
Brave soldiers of Finland. Our century-old enemy is attacking our country again. The soldiers' trust in his leaders is the first condition for success. You know me, and I know you, and I know that each of you is ready to fulfill your duties until death. We fight for our home, our faith, and our fatherland.
Oh. Es como StarCraft 2. A ver, unidades. ¿Qué nos ha quedado? Vale. O sea, el Aviation Recon es una habilidad del tanque Vickers. ¿Cómo lo voy a saber? Winter Equipment. Oh. Oh. Se les puede equipar con cosas. Curioso. Puedo mejorar de Vickers a Vickers. Vale, mejoras disponibles. Vale, puedo cambiar el Bofors a 37. Y perdería. Pero puedo cambiar el Bofors a pack. O sea, el antitanque lo puedo cambiar a un pack. Curioso. Oh, los conscripts los puedo ascender. Eso está muy bien. Y adquirir nuevas unidades también. Podría ponerle drop tanks. ¡Ojo! Los pobres no tienen Winter Equipment. Voice Anti-Tank Rifle. Morteros. Munición adicional. Oye, está bien. Camiones. Camiones como transporte también. Ajá. Escuadra de sappers. Detecta minas. Quizás no es lo mejor. Curioso. Me imagino que no hay ninguna preparada para subir de nivel. Extra alcance. Suena muy bien. Defensor. Puede disparar 3 veces por turno. Está muy bien en Overwatch. Bueno. Luego estaría la siguiente operación. Vale. Y hablar aquí con la gente. Bueno, pues lo vamos a dejar aquí. Nada, dejadme en comentarios qué os ha parecido. Ya sabéis, si os ha gustado, dedito para arriba. Hoy sí que os voy a pedir que me dejéis comentarios, porque eso le gusta mucho ver a las distribuidoras, que hay movimiento de la gente y tal, ¿vale? Hoy sí. Pero bueno, podéis dejar, como digo, comentarios al respecto. Seguirme a Twitter, Facebook, Discord. Muchísimas gracias a los miembros del canal, que a la hora de grabar este vídeo son Arcadios23, May, Julio Ibarra Designer, perdón, Risco, Ricardo, Félix, Juan Pablo Torres Castro y Daniel Corzo. Y lo más importante, como siempre, que os vaya todo muy bien hasta que nos volvamos a ver. Hasta luego.